guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, middle, and high school age. Today I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about how I'm planning for our passion projects for the coming year. I have talked a lot about passion projects over in my membership community. If you are interested in checking that out, I will have a link for it in the description box. We've spent a lot of time trying to figure out our passions, living our own passions in front of our kids to encourage that mindset of interest-led learning. So let's get started. First, I kind of want to talk a little bit about how we define passion projects. I know that there are so many different ways to homeschool, and interest-led learning is one of those ways. And so to me, passion projects are kind of interest-led learning, but more focused and perhaps a little bit more mentorship from me or from other people, depending on what the passion project is. So this is something that I started focusing more on this past spring semester, and it wasn't that we hadn't been doing interest-led learning before. That has always been a part of our homeschool. I'm always interested in seeing what my kids are interested in learning, and I try to include that as much as possible. But it was this past spring semester when I really incorporated time for passion projects into our weekly rhythm. Now, it was a little bit challenging because our fall last year was really busy and we had gotten behind on some of the things that I needed to work through, specifically for my high schooler. You know, she has much more, I wouldn't say rigid requirements, but the courses that she has have particular things that need to be done in order for her to get credit for the course. And so we didn't have as much time as I would like to focus on passion projects in the spring as I really wanted to. But I took some time to sit down and figure out what it meant to me to have passion projects included in our days. And I had to kind of take a step back on the things that I was really focused on, which I call mom school. And it's those core subjects. It's meeting all of our requirements for our state that we are in for homeschooling, being within our homeschool law. And so I kind of needed to reevaluate what we were doing. Now, part of that was just because we were trying to fit in a lot in a smaller period of time because we had gotten behind from the fall. And that is, you know, that can happen any year. There could be any number of things that cause you to not be where you want to be that is not due to your child's ability. And just because things come up and sometimes you have to manage your schedule a little bit differently. So, you know, anything can happen any year, but I wanted to reevaluate how our year was run. And so I did a lot of that this last spring and summer. And I do have a whole planning playlist for this homeschool year, starting with a big, honest conversation about homeschooling high school, even though my oldest is in her 3rd year of high school this year. It was just kind of a lot of talking from the heart and describing some feelings and things that we really want and desire in our home and homeschool. So what I ended up coming up with is revamping how we school. We do school year round, but we don't typically have breaks built in besides our big winter break for the year. We usually take Thanksgiving to New Year's off from our typical curriculum and work on other projects. And so these passion projects are kind of born out of that period of time when we do focus a lot on passion projects during, you know, Thanksgiving to New Year's, because we're not doing our traditional core curriculum. So I am actually setting up our school year as a 6 weeks on, 1 week off schedule for, the first half of the year. We will end right around Thanksgiving and take off and then start again in January with 6 weeks on, 1 week off. And so what we have decided is one day during those 6 weeks, we've chosen Wednesday is our passion project day. Now, this does not mean that we only work on passion projects during that day. At some point, I would like it to be that, but right now, because we're still getting used to new resources and we're still in our slow start, we're still trying to find our footing, it isn't quite at that point. My older kids do still have foreign language and math that they are doing on Wednesdays, and Emma is also doing science. Jack has not started his science for the year yet, so it wouldn't surprise me if he is also working on that on Wednesdays once he starts science in our next 6-week session. So on Wednesdays, we have some core work, some mom school that needs to get done first thing, but then the kids are able to work on their passion projects for the rest of the day. Now, this is more for my older two. Lucy is 8 and she is in 3rd grade, and so we are still really working on the basics, the reading, writing, and math, and that is the focus. We still do all of her school on Wednesday. It does not take us a long time to get through all of her work for the day. And then she is able to kind of just go and play and do what she wants. Sometimes she will participate with my older two in what they are doing. Sometimes she wants to work on a project herself, but she does not work on something for a 6-week block of time. So that is kind of how we are starting. We have one day a week where we are focusing more on passion projects, and they are able to work on their passion projects any other day of the week after they are done with school. So I try to encourage them to get their school done in the morning. Emma, it does take her a little bit longer with the high school courses that she's doing to finish for the day, but once she is finished, she is able to start on her passion project. And so I want them to have some goals associated with those passion projects, which means that I am meeting with them typically, once a week. I will check in and see what they are working on. For Jack, his passion project right now is creating a video game within Roblox. He had been working on a video game in Unreal Engine, but he has switched to a Roblox. I don't understand it. I really don't. So it's very difficult for me to describe it, but I am able to give him steps to make sure that he is continuously making progress. Emma is currently writing a book. She has about 10,000 words that she's done so far. Her goal, I think, is between 35,000 and 50,000 words, and she hopes to finish it before we start prepping for NaNoWriMo in the middle of October. So by the time our second 6-week session is over, she wants to be finished with her first draft of this new novel that she's writing. So they have Wednesdays when they spend a larger amount of time working on their passion projects. And then the next place that we have for them to spend time on their passion projects is that 7th week, that week off from homeschool, from mom school, from our core curriculum, is a week that I want them to still be focusing on their passion projects. Now, will they get credit for that time working on their passion projects? It will depend on how much work they are doing. If they are diligently working on their passion projects for 4 to 6 hours, which is not unheard of for my kids, they're very dedicated when they are interested in something to continue working on it, they will get credit for a homeschool day, and it will be a project that is integrated into some of their other core subjects. So for instance, Emma writing a novel, that would be part of her English credit. It will be in her course description of what she has worked on throughout the year, in addition to her actual English credit, which is 20th century world literature, I think is what the class is called this year. It's level 300 from Sunlight. That's what she's using. So each week we will check in and I will see how they're doing and see if they need guidance, see if they need new resources, see if they want to change their passion project. Just because they choose something at the beginning of the 6 weeks does not mean that they have to continue doing that for the entire 6 weeks. My hope is that they will find projects that they can work on longer term. We read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, last spring, and it was a great resource for my kids to kind of learn more about time management, to figure out how to set goals, how to find your interests and make progress, and making things a little bit smaller, making the steps a lot smaller. Instead of, I want to create a video game, what are the steps you need to do in order to complete that video game? And then when you take that first step, can you break it down more? And so that's kind of what I mean by mentoring my kids, sitting down and kind of helping them work through these ideas that they have and giving them more focus, which as an adult, it's a little bit easier for me to do than it is for a student, a teenager trying to figure it out for the first time. And my goal within this is to teach my kids how to set their own goals and be self-motivated to learn the things that they need to learn in order to fulfill those goals and to make progress on those goals. So for Jack, he is working on this Roblox game thing, and he has just decided that this week, and this is week 5 of our 6-week session. So we will see how much progress he's able to make in the next week and a half, and then how much he does during that week off, or if he decides that he wants to do something completely different, that is also okay. Emma has been working on this book since we started our slow start, and she is continuing to work on it a little bit each day. She likes to do writing sprints with authors that do writing sprints on YouTube. She uses the Pomodoro technique, which is what I use in my membership community when we're working on co-working sessions. I love the Pomodoro technique. If you've not heard of it, it is 25 minutes of focus work on something and then a 5-minute break. And if you do 4 Pomodoro cycles, then I think you get like a 30-minute break or an hour break after those 4 cycles instead of just the 5 minutes. But when you are focusing on that 25-minute time, you get so much work done. Emma has done many, many words in those 25-minute blocks of time. It's interesting to see. I really like that method for focused work. But what do you do if you don't know what your child's passions are? Well, there are a couple of things that I like to do in order to help encourage finding interests. One of those is vision boards. I have a whole video on how we do vision boards. We typically do them in January before we start our 2nd semester, but doing them right at the beginning of a homeschool year is also a great time. It gives you a chance to kind of see what the thoughts of your child are. Are there things, they may be totally outlandish, which is absolutely fine. One thing that Emma put on her vision board for this year was to sing with the group Home Free, which is a favorite group of ours. They're an a cappella singing group and we love them. Will she be doing that this year? No. But because she is interested in singing with them, I see that she is still very interested in music and singing and writing music and all of that stuff. So it's easy for me to say, okay, well, she also wants to focus on music. So what can I do as the parent to help her develop that skill some more? And so I will look for classes on Skillshare to help her. There's some great courses that she's done on writing music through Skillshare. We love that resource. And then just other opportunities that come up. If there are singing competitions or if there are things that she can do in community theater, all of that kind of stuff lends itself to this dream of singing with Home Free. So vision boards are a great place to start if you've not done them before. That is a really great way to figure out some of your kids' interests and some things that you might want to try in the coming year. Now, another thing that we absolutely love to do is use the Kiwi crates from KiwiCo. They have different boxes and themes for babies all the way up to adults, honestly. And each month a new box will come with a new project, a lot of extra information. We really, really enjoy these. It's been a lot of fun. Lucy this past month did a sweet and spreadable KiwiCo crate, a yummy crate, which is one that we've never done before. And she made strawberry jam, which is something that I have done a lot over the years, but it was a lot of fun to watch her do it. Had a little recipe. We weren't canning it for storage, but she did make 2 pints of strawberry jam, which was a lot of fun for us to work on together. And it showed me how much more she wants to do with cooking and baking. She's spent a lot of time going through some of our cookbooks, putting page flags on different recipes that she would like to try. And so that opens up a new interest for us to explore together. Last summer, Jack actually built a ukulele through one of the Eureka crates, which was amazing. It was so fun to watch him do that. And once you build something like that, not only is it a lot of work to build something like that, but after you're done, to have that thing, he wanted to learn how to tune the ukulele. He wanted to learn some chords. And so Emma worked with him because Emma also has a ukulele and plays that. It just opened up a new interest that perhaps he doesn't necessarily spend a lot of time on with music, but building that ukulele gave him the drive to start doing a little bit more. So this month we are going to be working on some KiwiCo crates for fun and to open up some new interests and to see if there are some projects that we can incorporate after they've built or created or done whatever the crate is. So the first one for Jack is building a pinball machine, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. We love arcade games here. It's a lot of fun for us. I mean, Jack loves video games in general, but he really enjoys arcade games as well. And so we're very excited to see how this one is going to go. I think that Emma is also going to help work on it. Sometimes they work on the things together. Sometimes Jack needs extra help or an extra hand. My kids together work really well. So that is one that we're working on this month, and we're very excited to start it. For Lucy, this month we got the Atlas crate, and it is Brazil. She has not opened it yet, so I will have more information and resources once we actually open these and see what is in the boxes. Lucy's last Atlas crate was France, and there was a recipe to make gougere, which was a lot of fun. So I'm kind of hoping that there is another recipe in here. That is definitely something that we want to continue working on with Lucy. She's having a lot of fun with the cooking and the baking, and Emma does a lot of that already, and so that's something where they can partner together. I really like to find interests that my kids have that they can partner together and work on together. I think that is a lot of fun, that collaboration between siblings, especially as you know, Lucy is so much younger than Jack and Emma, so finding interests that they both have, both Emma and Lucy or Jack and Lucy, it's a lot of fun to watch. And then Emma is going to be doing this maker crate this month, electroluminescent sculptures. So this looks like a lot of fun and definitely one that she's going to enjoy. She loves all of the art type things. So I would definitely say if you are struggling to figure out what your kids' interests are, KiwiCo crates are a great way to do that. There's always extra information in the crate itself to dive deeper, to learn more about whatever the theme of the crate is. So definitely check them out. I will leave links in the description box for KiwiCo so that you can see all of the different options. I think I might want to get more yummy crates in the future just to see. I think that they're seasonally themed. That seems to be what I've noticed from their website. So I will leave all of that information in the description box. But overall, what I want you to take away is that it is okay to take the time within your school day to focus on more interest-led learning and passion projects. I know that for me and a lot of other homeschool moms, it can be hard to break out of that traditional schooling. You want to make sure that they're doing the English, the math, the history, the science. You want to make sure that you're covering all of those core subjects. And there are so many things to learn within those subjects that it can take over everything. But it is totally okay to take time to follow the passions and follow the interests of your kids. And oftentimes, those are the most memorable experiences and the best educational methods for your kids to actually learn. So they're not just regurgitating information that they're being taught, they're actually learning something that they value and that they are going to apply in their life, either currently or in the future. It also helps to build confidence when you are mentoring your child and cheering them on, letting them know that they can continue working on a project and that you find value in what they find value in is very, very helpful, I think, for relationally for you and your kids. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have questions about anything that I talked about, please leave them in the comments or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. Again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys. Bye.